you see them, they get this puppy, they're a young couple, and then next, oh, they got married and now they have a baby and now they have two babies and now their dog's 8. And it's like you see this whole, life and family being built. And that's my favorite, to be able to be a part of that.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Highlight Her, where connection and confidence grow from conversation. Before we get into the episode, I invite you to hit that follow button. It helps the show get delivered into your feed, and it's a free way to support the podcast. Today's featured guest is Alicia Stamper of the Golden Leash in Wyandotte, Michigan, in the United States. The Golden Leash is a doggy daycare and much more. I'm excited to chat with Alicia because multiple people said she needed to be on this podcast, including former guest Christina of Puppy Poo Patrol. Let's get started and add her to the Highlight Her circle of season 3. Hi, Alicia.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for joining us today. Before we dive into what brought you to where you are today, I have a couple of unique questions that I like to ask. First, what do you think is your superpower as an entrepreneur?
I think a superpower that I feel like not just myself, but my business has in general is just seeing the little details that make a big difference. At the end of the day, I don't want dogs just to be, cared for. I want them to be excited to come back, and I don't want my clients just to be satisfied. I want them to feel like family, and I feel like these moments are what create a business that's going to last in the long run. I always say anyone can start a business, but not everyone can create a place where people feel welcome and where they belong. And that's what I think we strive for every day.
I see that on your social media on Facebook. So if anyone wants to find her on Facebook, she's the Golden Leash. And I see it in how people are so quick to recommend you when people ask for, hey, who has a doggy daycare? Or they talk about, oh, my dogs love this, or this was so fun, or they comment on your pictures. I think you are really doing a good job of your mission there.
Thank you so much. I know I'm so thankful. I have the best support system.
That's great. Another question I like to ask guests before we get into their story is, have you recently had a moment where you thought, this is why I do this?
All the time. I feel like every single day I look around and see all the dogs playing or clients that keep coming back and we have built a relationship with them. I think like this is why we do this. When we see them happy running around and playing, I think that's really when it hits me that this is why we do what we do.
So before the interview, you and I were chatting, and it came up that you were 21 when you started your business. I think that is fantastic. Can you take us back to that time and what inspired you? Hey, I want to do a business with dogs and I'm going to start it right now.
Aw, yeah. Yeah, for my 21st birthday, I got myself my LLC. And the whole reason behind the business is I had a golden retriever named Lucky. She was our family dog. And she's built the memory of her is what this is built on now. And so the name came from my cousin and I were kind of brainstorming ideas like, what should we call it? Because my cousin Carly, I'll give her a shout out. We were brainstorming, we're like, what are we going to call it? And the Golden Leash, golden because of Lucky, and then Leash from, oh, my name is Alicia. So it's a little piece of her and I in the title or in the business name.
How fun. And what made you want to work with dogs? Just your one dog, or you grew up and loved interacting with dogs?
Yeah, I always loved animals, especially dogs. Right after high school, I went to college not knowing what I wanted to do, and I thought maybe a vet tech, something like that. But I definitely want to be on like the fun side of animals, and I wanted to provide something that I could build and and help people. It helps people too, because people are at work or go on vacation. So it kind of merged both of those worlds, my love for people, my love for animals, into one. And I couldn't be more thankful.
Was it hard for you to find a location when you're just starting out at 21?
It was. So I actually started off in my home in Wyandotte. By the grace of God, it kind of took off faster than I thought. And I had a friend at the time whose dad actually owned a place in Wyandotte and was like, we'll let you rent there. So that's where I got started there.
Have you been there the whole time?
Yeah, about 6 years in at our Wyandotte location.
And how many dogs can you have at one time?
So it kind of depends. By law, we have to do 10 dogs per person. So that's a day we have 4 people scheduled. We could do up to 40, pretty much our max.
Wow, that's amazing
Yeah.
to me. And what kinds of things have you built into your business that bring you recurring customers?
I think we're always just trying to better ourselves to show up, the best we can be for the dogs. We've expanded. We've built like an incredible team. I couldn't be more thankful for my team. I feel like we've just developed these relationships with clients that it's deeper than just, oh, you drop your dog off. We have gone to their kids' graduation parties and their weddings. And one of my first clients, actually, I walked their dog down the aisle as their ring bearer in their wedding, which was one of the coolest things.
Aw.
So yeah, we're just constantly trying to, build without getting too big, because I love the closeness that we have with our clients.
And I see that you have created small dog days and big dog days. Did that come out of
Mhm.
a need for space or just something to make it simpler?
Yeah, I think I just wanted to be able to offer, daycare for dogs that are small and maybe couldn't play with, say, like a Saint Bernard or, a bigger Great Dane, something like that. And then there's a little Chihuahua, they want to have fun too. So they're with friends their same size.
And what other services do you offer besides your daycare?
So we also offer boarding. So we're kennel-free boarding. So we stay the night there with them. We have a bedroom set up. So there's like, a bed that they can sleep in or a couch wherever they feel comfortable. We offer grooming, baths and stuff like that, nail trims. And then I have a friend who works in the back who is a dog trainer. So we got a little bit of everything.
Kennel-free boarding? I've never heard of that. Did you create that on your own?
Back to Lucky, my golden retriever. I remember being about 12 years old and they left her in this concrete thing at the vet for 7 days. And when we came back, she was just so sad. And I remember the exact moment I was like, one day I'm going to invent something where the dog never comes home so sad. And
Mm,
so that's kind of where it started. Just thinking of her, first of all, my parents paying for her to be in a kennel for the whole time. And
right.
then her being so sad in a little concrete box makes me want to cry. So
So if you're offering kennel-free boarding, can you only do one dog at a time unless they're like multiple dogs from the same family?
So what we do is a temperament test initially. So we do up to 3 or 4 dogs per night, if they all get along. So it's a process. We typically need a month or so at least in advance. They meet the other dogs, get comfortable before we just throw them in together. So yeah, they're friends by the time that they board together.
I love that.
Yeah, so it's fun.
Do you feel like a lot of people know you have that service?
Oh, yeah, I think it's like one of our things we're known for mostly just because it is a different kind of service and you don't have to
Mhm.
kennel your dog, which a lot of people like, which I like. So yeah, I think that's one of our things we're known for.
If I remember correctly, you are proudly a female-founded all-women company. Is that correct?
We are, yep. I feel like I found through, volunteering at shelters and meeting a lot of dogs in my time. A lot of dogs unfortunately have trauma from, and not saying just men or animal abusers at all, but men are more scared of the dogs a little bit more. I feel like so when it's just all women and we're all very close knit. Everyone that's at the Golden Leash, all us girls.
How did you go about building your team?
Well, a lot of prayer. I'll be honest, it is hard to find a team that you trust, especially when you love what you do so much. It's hard to bring someone in, but definitely I have, the best team. Couldn't do it without them. Carolyn and Brooke are two of my managers, and, they help keep my head on most days. I couldn't do it by myself, but yeah, we have a strong team of about 10 of us.
That's great. And who has been with you the longest?
Let's think. Brooke. Brooke has been with me almost since the beginning, and not too long after Carolyn came in, and now they're both managers. So yeah, they've been with me the longest.
Do you find that you need to do a lot of advertising, or because of your uniqueness in the different things you offer, you get a lot of word of mouth and don't have to spend a lot of money on advertising?
Yeah, a lot of word of mouth. Honestly, since the beginning, it makes me still want to cry, but even days where I'm like, "Oh gosh, how are we gonna, how is this gonna work?" I think back to those initial people who trusted me, with their animals and been all word of mouth since the beginning, which has been amazing. It grew so fast. Still sometimes I can't believe that it's real.
Do you have hopes for the future of where you want it to go? Do you want to expand to more locations, or you want to keep it the way it is? Have any projects coming down the road?
I think I like keeping it small. So one of the goals is a little short bus so we can pick up dogs for daycare. I always see those videos. I think they're so cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely that. But yeah, I like the small feel. I definitely maybe want to move into a bigger building one day. But yeah, I'm not in any huge rush. I'm happy where we're at right now.
Do you find that you are able to do any community events? Do you network with other businesses?
No, so we do a lot. Very proud of how our community has been. So we work with a lot of local businesses. We do back to school backpacks for kids. We've done Christmas and Thanksgiving dinners, things like that. We're just super. Just love our community. So we do a lot of stuff like that and a lot of stuff with animals as well. But yeah, Detroit Salsa Company is a big one we work with. They work a lot with animals too. But yeah, I feel like we help out anywhere we can, human or dog.
Do you have some favorite memories of those connections?
Oh, I have a lot. So let's think. The first one that comes to mind is with the Detroit Salsa Company. There was this dog found, I think, in like an abandoned apartment in a kennel. They had gotten evicted and left the dog behind, and she something I can't remember exactly, but something was with her eye, and she needed surgery. So they jumped right in. We did a fundraiser, and within like I want to say like 2 weeks, we raised enough money for the surgery, which was like 5 grand. So that was one of
Wow.
my favorite. Yeah, that was one of my favorite times where we all came together. But yeah, the community is amazing here.
What's your favorite thing about your business that you get to do?
Well, other than being with the dogs all the time, definitely the relationships I've built with my clients, working with the dogs, and you just get to build these relationships with people that you see them. One family in particular that I'm thinking of is you see them, they get this puppy, they're a young couple, and then next, oh, they got married, and now they have a baby, and now they have two babies, and now their dog's 8, and it's like you see this whole, life and family being built, and that's my favorite to be able to be a part of that.
That sounds fun. Do you have some stories of challenges that you've had to overcome?
Well, with anything, there's a lot of challenges that come with having your own business. I
Mhm.
think it's really forced me to grow in a lot of ways, in ways like things I've gone through business wise that I didn't think I could handle. And it's definitely taught me to believe in myself, trust my instinct. But yeah, there's hard parts of it too. There's times where it's very fun, and then there's times where someone's dog passed away, and now, it's a lot of grief with this business as well because we love them so much. But yeah, I think that would be a challenge, just grieving things with our clients.
It sounds like your boarding without kennel is something exclusive to you. Do you have any other services that are exclusive to you in the area?
Other than the doggy daycare, yeah, we do the kennel-free boarding, grooming, stuff like that. That's about it.
So what happens when a dog comes to you for the day? What does a day kind of look like for them and you?
So they come in, they get their own little locker. So we take their little leash off, put it in their locker, and then they just go straight in and play with their friends. It's just like kind of when you bring your kid to school. It's the sweetest thing to watch, especially in the summer because we'll have the pools and stuff set out. So you can just see like their body language. They're like, please let me out. And then once they get out with their friends, it's so sweet to watch. But basically, they just play all day with supervision. Of course, we're there. We have an inside and outside area. They have free access to both all throughout the day. If it's really hot or really cold, of course, we monitor it a little bit better. But yeah. So they just play all day, and we monitor, watch them, and get to play with them, stuff like that.
I've noticed your pool parties and like when the smoke for listeners that aren't in the Midwest or northern part of the United States, we had some wildfire smoke that was coming down a couple weeks ago and the air quality was really poor and like you could smell it smelled like a campfire just walking out your door. And so Alicia had set up some extra fans and brought the dogs inside, and what kind of things did you do that those couple days for them since they couldn't go outside?
So we actually did a dog Olympics, which was really fun. We did the lick mats, when you put like
Mhm.
peanut butter and stuff, you freeze them. We did that, but the Olympics was the real winner. We have a lot of dogs that actually surprised me with how high they could jump. So yeah, we did that. That was really fun, and yeah, the frozen treats, and we had a big enough inside space for them to run, but it's not the same as when they can go outside. So we were happy to be able to provide a couple extra things to keep their minds busy and then active.
I love that. So fun. All right, well, it's time for our lightning round where listeners can
Okay.
get to know you a little better. Do you prefer coffee or tea?
Oh, coffee for sure.
Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Mm, I feel like as a business owner, you got to be a little bit of both. So I'd say a little bit of both.
Do you have a tool or app that helps you run your business?
We use QuickBooks. I guess that would be the only app we kind of use, and that's just for invoices and stuff like that.
Do you have a favorite way to unwind after a busy day?
I love to read, So definitely one of my favorite things is, being snuggled up in bed after a long day with my dog. I have two, Clover and Luke. And then reading a good book is definitely my favorite.
Do you have a female entrepreneur that you'd like to highlight?
I do. So I have a lot of women in my life who are great. Christina from Poo Patrol being one, but I know she already got interviewed. But my recommendation would be Audrey from Nutrix Puppy Training.
Oh.
She works out of the Golden Leash, but she's her own business, and she's great.
What makes her unique?
I would say she's definitely more into positive reinforcement, which I like a lot for personally for my dogs. And she does a lot of one-on-one, so she's not just in it for the money. She wants the best, best. Each dog is different, right? So she wants the best for each one. So she'll go to their homes, meet one-on-one, things like that before she just throws them in the class. So I think that's what keeps her a little bit different.
So here's a question for you that I haven't asked in a while. If you were going to go and talk to yourself back at 21, what would you tell Alicia at 21 about being a business owner and where things are going to go?
It makes me cry a little bit, so if I get a little teary-eyed, pardon me. But
That's okay.
I think I would just tell myself that so much is going to happen that I would definitely not think I would be capable of handling, but we were capable and we made it through. There's definitely days still today I wonder, if I'm good enough for this, smart enough, cut out for this, those kind of questions, but just don't give up. And I'll meet lifelong friends that start off as clients that become so important in my life, which I'm so thankful for. And I'll meet two great people, which I mentioned, Brooke and Carolyn. I've got to meet through this business. And lastly, I think I would just say to the little girl who dreamed of doing this, we would be so proud of the woman we've become. So just keep going.
I love that. So, Alicia, for someone who's inspired by your story today, which I still think starting and at 21 and still having your business is amazing. If someone is inspired and wants to pursue a dream of their own, it could be something like what you do or something completely different. What advice would you leave them?
I would say definitely don't wait until you're ready. If I would have waited till I had everything figured out and I was ready, I would have never started. And you learn so much by just doing. So just trust
Mm.
yourself, stay consistent. Prayer has been big for me. Put the work in. And I think it's also important to remember that there's room for everyone to succeed. So celebrate other women, other people who do whatever business. And don't let the comparison, hurt your confidence because each journey, each business is as unique as you make it.
That's really good advice. And how can people find you?
So we're just on Facebook. We have a little Instagram too. You can just look us up right on there, the Golden Leash.
Awesome. I'll be sure to put those in the show notes. Speaking of show notes, you can also find the link to subscribe to the podcast's newsletter there so you can get each episode delivered. Alicia, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate your time and conversation.
I loved it. Can I give a quick shout out before we end?
Absolutely.
Okay, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who made it possible. First, you, Jenny. I've watched or listened to your podcast, and they're so sweet, and I've been sharing them with everyone because they're so good. Definitely my client, Christina from Poo Patrol, who recommended this, and then I have just a couple more. My
That's
dad,
okay.
brothers, grandma. Thank you for always encouraging me and your support and advice and willingness to help the world to me. A special shout out to Carly, my cousin. She helped me start this, and thank you for always cheering me on and believing in my vision. I think another piece of advice is it's very important to have people who believe in you because it pushes you. And lastly, to my boyfriend Kyle, who stands beside me through all the crazy ideas and helps me build things on a whim. Does the light bulbs, hangs cameras, things like that. Thank you to everyone who has helped me get where I'm at today.
I bet they are super proud of you and love cheering you on.
Oh, you're so sweet.
It's true. Audience, thank you for listening today. And Alicia, thank you so much for joining us. It was a great conversation.
So great talking to you. I hope you have a good day.
Thank you. Audience, if you'd like to know what we discussed after the episode ended, you can head on over to After the Highlight Collection on Patreon.